today the Supreme Court came down heavily on the CBI and on those government officials who tried to see the status report, who saw the status report, suggested changes in the status report to be filed in the court, and which changes were carried out by the CBI. They said that this was totally illegal, highly objectionable on the part of the officers, particularly on the part of officers of the Prime Minister's office, officers of the Coal Ministry, and even the ministers, etc., to try and see the status report and seek to make changes in it. And that is why the court has directed that in future, no status of any investigation or the status reports will be shown to any minister in the government, any officer in the government, or even the lawyers of the government, including the Director of Prosecution. Even to the lawyer of the CBI, the status reports will not be shown. Secondly, well, in my view, his position is totally untenable because he has clearly done something which the court clearly held to be impermissible. So therefore, apart from that, the court has also said that the DIG, Mr. Ravikant, who was in charge of the investigation earlier and who had been removed from the CBI and placed with the Intelligence Bureau, should be brought back to the CBI and into this investigation. They have also said that none of the officers involved in the investigation will be transferred from this investigation without the permission of the court. They have also said that they will consider the issue of constitution of an SIT on the next hearing, and meanwhile they have asked the government, the Attorney General, to ascertain from the government and get an affidavit filed by the beginning of July as to whether and what steps the government is contemplating by way of law to make the CBI completely independent in its functioning in their investigations. Those are essentially the orders of the court. The matter will come up on the next date of hearing, which is the 10th of July.
Key petitioner in the Coalgate scam, Prashant Bhushan, giving the entire account on the hearing today. The Supreme Court has slammed top legal officers on their alleged role in the controversial CBI affidavit. Remember, the key takeaway is that the court says that CBI should be made independent. My colleague Suchetna Ray, who's been at the courtroom, has been tracking all the developments very closely, now joins us for more details. Suchetna, very hard-hitting observations made by the Apex Court today.
Nisha, this is a classic case of sound and fury and no action being taken by the Supreme Court. While the Supreme Court bench led by Justice Lodha slammed everyone from CBI to the Law Minister, the Attorney General, as well as the Joint Secretaries in the Coal Ministry, as well as the Prime Minister's office, who demanded the status report and also made changes in it. At the end of the day, when the order was issued by Supreme Court, it merely has asked the government to file an affidavit by the 8th of July. This affidavit will have to lay down all the steps that the government is taking in making CBI a truly independent body. The other orders that have been passed by the Supreme Court today regarding this case includes the Director CBI coming to the Supreme Court and giving it in writing that he will not change any officers in the investigating team any further. This is obviously coming from the case of Ravikant Mishra, who was the investigating officer in this coal allocation scam, being transferred to Intelligence Bureau. He's also asked the Director CBI to ensure that no excesses or no access is provided to any cabinet minister, the law minister, the Prime Minister's office, or any law officers as far as status reports or investigation in this coal scam is concerned. In fact, in its observations, the Supreme Court indeed has said that the Law Ministry or the Attorney General can definitely, in their capacity, provide guidance to CBI, but they're in no capacity to interfere with CBI's working. In fact, initially the Supreme Court had also observed that CBI's affidavit is in variance with the statements provided by the Attorney General as well as the Law Minister. So the Supreme Court had hinted at the fact that the Attorney General is trying to mislead the court, but at the end of the day, In the order, the Supreme Court has only adjourned the matter till the 10th of July. They've said about Prashant Bhushan's plea that an SIT, a special investigation team, should be formed and the case be transferred to it. Right. The Supreme Court has just said that they'll consider these petitions later in the day when it comes up to hearing on the 10th of July.